Welcome to the Vandal Insider Podcast, presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. Let the team that takes care of the Vandals take care of you. Get the latest information on University of Idaho athletics you won't find anywhere else. It's all here on the Vandal Insider Podcast, every fan source for all things Idaho athletics. Here's your host, Dennis Patchin.
Welcome to the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. The Idaho Vandal women's basketball team took over first place this past week, and now they'll try and hang on to it and win their first conference title since 2019 and just their second ever regular season crown in Big Sky history. Head coach Arthur Moreira will join us to talk about basketball and first place. Aidan Sevilla from the men's team will also join us to talk hoops. He'll tell us about his story on how he landed at the University of Idaho in Moscow. Gabriel Moroder will be here to tell us how a broken collarbone from ski jumping led him to tennis, and from northern Italy to North Idaho. And new school record holder in the 60-meter sprints, Jana Williams, will be here to talk about going fast. This Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast is presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. As the Vandals team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Matt Taylor cares for elite athletes, weekend warriors, and everyone in between. Let the team that takes care of the Vandals take care of you.
Welcome back to the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. We are now joined by Arthur Moreira, the head coach of the Idaho women's basketball team. We are in the ICCU Arena, which was much quieter than it was this past weekend with wins on Thursday and Saturday. And now the Vandals are in sole possession of first place. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was really fun. I mean, we had our second and third largest crowd of the season back-to-back on Thursday, Saturday. And if you take away the education day, which we almost forced the kids to come, yours are our two largest crowds since I've been here. And probably, I think it was the biggest student section I've seen out of Idaho women's basketball any time I've ever watched a game here, even before I got to work here.
I know we still have – 7 games left, I think? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Seven
You're right.
We have 7 games left. But you're in first place.
Yep.
And and this is the first time Montana State hasn't been in first place in a while.
Yep.
Not like 2 weeks, like years.
Yeah.
What's that mean to your team right now, today, when we're recording this podcast? What does that mean, being in first place?
It means a lot. In certain ways, you could say winning the regular season is even harder than winning the tournament because you have to be consistent, right? It's the team that is the most consistent that wins the regular season. In the conference tournament, it could happen that you get hot at the right time and then you win 3 games and you're a conference champ, right? So it means a lot because it's not something easy to do. None of those 2 options are easy, right? But I think leading the regular season and ending as the number 1 team is one of the hardest things to do. And I told the team after we won the Montana State game, our real work starts now. It's a lot easier to get to the top than it is to stay there, right? There's been across the country multiple teams. They were in first place for a week, for 2 weeks, and then they lose a couple games, and now they're second, third. And so our real tests are going to start now, moving forward to this week and then the next 7 games.
Is your job at this point in time now? You got them to first place. Now you got to get them to think. I can't think about being in first place. I just have to think about this game today, because if you start thinking about, okay, we got 7 games left, we win all 7, we're going to win the regular season championship.
Right.
That to me would seem counterproductive.
Yeah, you can't look ahead. I mean, you have to treat every game as a championship game. Every game we play, we got Weber State next. We're going to prepare and approach Weber State like is that game on March 11th, March 12th, whatever the Big Sky championship game is. Every single game is you're playing for the trophy. Every game you have to approach like it's the last game of your season. It's almost like if you lose, you're out, right? And I thought we had that mentality going into the Montana game on Saturday. You're always concerned as a coach after you have such a big win for the program. It's probably my biggest win since I've been here, right? Our team's biggest win. So you always are concerned about how you're going to respond. Are you going to get a little hungover? Our practice Friday wasn't great because it was such a physical game, overtime game. People played a lot of minutes, and I thought we looked exhausted on Friday. But we started the game in the first 5 minutes. It was 20-2. So I feel like this group has a really good mindset about it. They're excited to be in the first place, but they understand that we haven't really done anything yet. It's cool to say that a little over halfway through the conference season, you're the team that's leading the conference, but if we lose the next 2 games, that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Well, yeah, and that's obvious, and beating Weber at Weber and beating Idaho State at Idaho State, those aren't easy. Those aren't just show up and we'll collect the win and move on to next week.
No doubt. I mean, we still play the third place team in the league on the road. We played the 4th team on the league in Northern Colorado. We played the 5th team in the league. We still have a lot of hard games. It's not guaranteed, and we know how good Montana State is. I don't know if they're going to lose another game, right? So we have to be able to approach every game like if we lose, we're done.
Yeah. Well, you're not done. You're just you're probably second. But
right.
I mean, but there are. I mean, and looking big picture, if you're the 1 seed, you avoid either Montana State or Idaho State if they finish 2-3,
right.
which is. Sorry, you don't have to say this. My opinion, Idaho State to me is the 3rd best team in the league right now. I think they're better than North Colorado. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to say anything because I don't want you people going, "I bulletin board material."
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you can get those 2 teams to play each other, if the seeds hold, and then you only have to beat one of those teams, that's got to make your life a little easier. Especially because it'll be the 3rd game. Well, it'll actually be the 3rd game in 4 days.
Right. Yeah. I think once you get to the conference tournament, it doesn't really matter because we're a 1-bid league, right? So obviously it's better, I guess, to lose in the championship game than to lose in the 1st or 2nd round. But you're going to have to beat everybody anyway. Yeah. So I don't really care about the order or who we play.
You brought up an interesting point about conference regular seasons. I think because of conference tournaments, and that's how you get to the NCAA tournaments, we've devalued winning a regular season championship. I think that is harder to do than winning a conference tournament simply because, like you said, you can get hot. Somebody can get sprained an ankle. Somebody can get in foul trouble in a game, and all of a sudden you got problems. I think we've also devalued 20-win seasons.
Right.
You have a chance for another 20-win season here at the University of Idaho. With one more win. Heck, you have a chance to win 25 in the regular season. Those are milestones that teams don't often get to. How important are those things? Yeah,
obviously our biggest goal is to make the tournament, and I would take a 15-win season if we get to the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
But, it's incredibly hard to win games. And that's what I think the team finally got it. But that's why the message I always try to get across, like, guys, don't take it for granted when you beat teams. It doesn't matter who you are. It's hard to win games. It's hard to win 15 games. It's hard to win 18 games like we did last year. It's hard to win 20. It's hard to win 25, So the more wins, the better. But you can't take it for granted. Winning 20-plus games is something that I haven't done in my career yet. We won 19 a bunch of times at USF, and I always felt like there was a couple games we dropped. And like, man, we didn't get to 20. So I've been in Division I basketball now for – I think this is my 10th season as an assistant head coach combined, and it's the first time we have a chance to get to 20.
Wow.
Right? I don't want to jinx myself, but
well, I like your chances. You got 8 games left. At the minimum, so I like your chances of getting at least one. But you're saying I'd rather win 15 games to get to the tournament than win 25 and not get to the tournament. Right. Winning 20 is hard. Winning 25 in the modern day is hard. Sometimes we only focus on, 64 teams get to the NCAA tournament, and 63 are going to lose their last game. And, we saw it in the Super Bowl.
Right.
New England loses the Super Bowl, and people are calling it, what a bad season. We lost in the championship game. But I don't think there's any way to get that back in college basketball, is there?
Right.
We can't put the genie back in the bottle there.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Winning 20 games, 25 games, getting a postseason, it's an incredible season regardless.
Yeah.
But everybody's goal is to get to the NCAA tournament and win the conference, so that's the most important thing. But obviously, if something happens and we don't get there and we end up the season with whatever it is, 20 to 25 wins, I'd still be really proud of the team, and I would feel that we had a good season.
Right. The fact that you're able to get into or try to get into the NCAA tournament, what's the biggest fear now with 7 games remaining before the conference tournament as a coach? Because coaches always have fears. All coaches are always worried about something. Doesn't matter what. It could be May. You're worried about something. It could be July. You're worried about something. What's Arthur Moreira worried about right now?
Yeah, we're just in a conference that has a lot of good coaches, so you're always worried about how people are going to prepare for you. You never know what's going to happen. I think Aidan Sevilla at Idaho State is one of the best coaches I've ever seen as far as game planning, so I'm sure he's not happy about how the game went here, right? So he's going to have a lot of stuff to throw at us, and you're concerned going to every game. Like ever since I took the job, even more so than as an assistant, doesn't matter who we play, I've been nervous for every single game we play. I've been worried about every single game. But I think that's why he makes us prepare well for it, because I try to, in my head, acknowledge all the ways that things could go wrong and teams could beat us, so I have an answer for it. That there's not been I have, 54 games, I think, as a head coach here, and in all 54 of them, I was always concerned going to every single game.
That's not healthy.
Yeah, probably not.
but I'm not sure being a college coach of basketball and other sports is a healthy thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
How do you step away from the game to clear your head during the season?
Yeah, I need to figure out a better way to do that. I don't do a very good job with it. I feel like it's kind of my life, right? We end it here, and then I go home and I'll watch more film, just trying to prepare. I always feel like if I'm not doing something, somebody else got to step on me. So I feel like I always have to be on. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. That's probably one of the areas I need to grow in my career, is just finding something to kind of disconnect a little bit. During the season, like, I stopped watching all the TV shows that I watched during the summer, and I stopped going out and eating out or having some drinks. It's the 100% of the focus is on the program and in the games.
Where do you think you learned that? Did you learn that from other coaches, or was that just you yourself saying, I don't want to get beat in the preparation world?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're describing what NFL coaches are doing by sleeping in their offices.
Right.
I mean, so they use that 45 minutes of driving home and driving back to get more work done.
Yeah, when I got into the business, I never had a background, right? I wasn't a great player. I didn't play at a Power 4 school, and, my family wasn't into coaching. I kind of had to forge my own path. And I just felt like in order to do that, I had to work harder than everybody else. When you don't have any – when Molly first hired me at Cal State East Bay as a Division II part-time assistant, she took a chance on it. So I needed to make sure I was working harder than the people that were full-time, working harder than everybody, the men's basketball staff, the women's basketball staff. And then when she took me to USF, I took that to another step. San Francisco is a very expensive city. And my first salary there, when she hired me as director of operations, I was making $45,000 in San Francisco. So I had to live far away from the city. So a lot of times I would sleep in the office. I would just take the train in the morning, get to work, and then if we had a late practice or a late game, it was too much work to go back and forth. So I had my sleeping bag there in the office, and I did that for the first couple years. And I was willing to do whatever it takes. Clean the floors, If a manager was sick, I didn't show up, I would go before practice and make sure the floor is ready to practice. The reason I wasn't going to make it in the business was not going to be because I didn't work hard enough, because I feel like that's the worst feeling to have. So at least that side of it, I had to be better than everybody else.
So does then when you beat a team like Montana State on Thursday, is there some different self-satisfaction for you other than beating them because of all the things that you've been through and all the, for lack of a better term, hardships of becoming a head coach?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It was anytime you beat good coaches, it takes a while to sink in for me. Now I feel like this year now I'm getting a little more comfortable the second year, but every time I get to compete with Trish, with Seton, when Ruthie Sin came in last year from St. Thomas, and she just announced her retirement today. Like every time, or Kami Etheridge when we play Washington State, anytime I get to face against those coaches, it takes me a while to kind of be okay with it and says, man, I'm really doing this. I'm really competing against these guys right now on the same court. So I don't take it lightly. It's a big honor, especially when you get to beat them. It's even better.
Do you think that's because you talked about all the things you didn't have in your basketball background? Do you think it's because of that, or do you think it's because I'm not from the United States, I'm from Brazil, I have to try even harder?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, my college advisor, I have a great relationship with him. When I told him I wanted to coach, and there was no Brazilian head coaches there at the time, there was no Brazilian assistant coaches in Division I when I was getting ready to leave college. And he told me, maybe you should look at something else, do something a little easier. Yeah. And we have a great relationship. I mean, he comes to every time we go to California, he's at our games, but he was honest. I mean, it hasn't been done before. It's not easy. So because it's something that hasn't been done before, and I'm not from here, so I had to kind of fight for all the opportunities, I feel like I have to outwork every single person.
That's got to make every time you do something that you think, man, I wasn't sure I could do this or not, has to be so gratifying to you.
For sure. But I think that's why our girls play so hard too, because they see how much we work, how much our staff works, how much it means to us. Like every win, we're super excited to win. It doesn't matter. We beat Walla Walla, I'm excited to win a game. So I think they see that and they're like, wow, we can't take things for granted either.
Appreciate the time. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's always great to visit with you, the coach, but you, the first place coach. That's why we wanted to talk to you this week. And it's not because we don't think you're going to be in first place after this week, but we're going to talk to you again before the Big Sky tournament, and we just wanted to kind of get a perspective on everything that you and your team has accomplished. So
for sure. No, thank you.
Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a tough road trip this weekend for the Vandals as they head to Weber State and Idaho State as we head into the stretch drive of the Big Sky Conference hoop season. This Idaho Vandal Insider podcast is presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. When not caring for the Vandals as team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Matt Taylor provides the same MVP orthopedic care to our entire region. At Inland Orthopedics, our team is your team.
Welcome back to the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. We are now joined from men's basketball by Aidan Sevilla. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Let's talk a little bit about you being here at the University of Idaho. I don't want to say it was a happy accident, but it kind of happened at the last minute.
Yes, sir.
And it kind of happened because your original plan kind of fell through, right?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Okay, so you played 4 years of college basketball.
Yes, sir, I did.
At the non-Division I level. Probably thinking your career was over with.
Yep.
And so you want to keep playing basketball. You explored the opportunity to go to the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
And use your family connections that would allow you to be not like a non-import player. We don't count against the foreign players. And correct me if I'm wrong, because we've talked about this story before.
Yeah.
Your plan to go over there to get citizenship or naturalization so you don't count falls through.
Yep.
Take us from there.
Yeah, so it kind of we went out there to kind of get a little bit of like a lay of the land, what the whole scene over there is like, while also trying to get that paperwork, trying to get that all through. But yeah, that kind of all not necessarily fell through, but we just knew that the process for that was going to take a little bit longer than we thought. So we were going to, come home, come back to the States, kind of wait around and, get all that processed while still waiting for the right opportunity. So it was going to be kind of a little bit of a waiting game for a little bit. Come home and then, I think it was 10 days exactly, I was at home. I've told you the story before, up visiting my brother up at UC Davis.
Who plays basketball?
Yeah, he plays basketball over
Okay.
there. So they're having their practices. I'm like, okay, it's my brother's birthday. Let me go visit him. Drove up there. It was only like a 45-minute drive. Stayed the weekend with him, and I'm checking out a practice. And next thing I know, one of their assistant coaches is coming up to me talking about that, a Coach Laird from University of Idaho, is asking about me and asking a little bit about my situation. And then next thing I know, I'm hopping on the phone with him. A couple hours later, I'm on the phone with Coach Pribb, on a Zoom with Coach Pribb, Coach Laird, and my parents. And then I think an hour, probably, I didn't wait too long after that, but an hour after that, I'm committed to come to University of Idaho. So it's crazy.
Did they know you were with your brother, or because now Brandon played at UC Davis, has connections there.
And he was coach there for a year.
Was he calling it like UC Davis to talk to your brother to get your phone number?
So I think it was just a freak coincidence actually that I was there. So the assistant coach, one of my brother's assistant coaches at Davis, he came up to me after their practice finished, and he's like, "This is actually so crazy because, it's one of Coach Laird's good friends." He's like, he was asking about me, asking about our family, everything like that. And he was like, I was just going to, call him back and, tell him what I knew about you and your family, obviously. But he's like, would you like to just talk to him since you're already here? I was like, shoot, yeah, sounds great. And that was the first initial connection that I had.
When you came back, was there any thought
Of college basketball?
Yeah.
No, I think absolutely not. I think once it hit August, I knew I think college basketball was a little bit out the window for me. I entered the portal with my last year with, it's tough sometimes as a D2 transfer, and especially like D2/NAIA transfer, to get those looks at the Division I level, especially with the portal these days. And the opportunities that I had weren't necessarily the right fit for me or the right fit for what certain teams that I was talking to were looking for. So I said, you know what, it hit like late July, and I was like, all right, let me kind of just push this to the side. Like, I kind of not necessarily gave up on it, but was just like, it's kind of unrealistic now.
Were you saying in your head, I guess it's just time to move on to the next
100%,
to the next chapter in my life?
100%. So I mean, I'm moving. I'm at a point where I'm moving on from college. I'm having my grad parties. I'm having all these, end of the year celebrations and stuff, getting ready to move forward to the next chapter of my life. And then, one thing led to another. It's 3 weeks later, and college basketball comes knocking on the door again.
Now, this isn't happening in April.
Yeah.
This isn't happening in May. When did you get here? Had school started?
Yeah, school was, I think, there were 3 or 4 days into school when I first got here. So I came a little bit late, but luckily not too late to where it made registration stuff too difficult. So it wasn't too bad.
Okay,
yeah.
I got to believe that has never happened to you, joining a team really after 40, the practices had already started, going through those things. How easy was it for you to come into this group, nobody you knew, and try and come in and, help the team and compete for playing time?
I'd say I wouldn't say it's necessarily easy. Coach Pribb told me when we first talked on the phone for the very first time that he knew it was a tough position to be in. He knew it was tough coming in after these guys have been together for months already, all summer session, and I'm coming in late. Having to adapt and learn, but they felt like being a fifth-year guy, being experienced, I'd be able to come in and use my knowledge and use my experience to kind of adapt to everything pretty quickly, which basketball-wise was definitely an easy part. I think just, adapting to, this lifestyle out here, being out here, one in Idaho, being out in a place where I didn't really know anyone. It took a little bit of time, but, there's great guys here, great guys on the team, great staff, and everyone just made me feel so welcome. So I'd say the first week was a little bit tough. I'm trying to figure things out, kind of understand, get my routine down, trying to understand how things were working. But after that, it was a pretty easy transition.
Well, Aidan, you also came here because there was an injury.
Yes.
There wasn't a place for you until somebody got hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
And all of a sudden, we got to find a guy.
Yeah.
Did you come in here thinking you were going to play, hoping you were going to play, hoping you weren't just here to fill a practice spot?
Yeah, I think my mindset coming in was I'm just going to do whatever I can to help the team and help and impact winning. And whether that's me being on the court, which I'm confident in my ability, I know I can impact on the court, or whether that's, being on the scout team and getting guys ready in practice, or if that's, bringing energy off the bench, whether that's on or off the court. It's I think I knew that I'm capable of, going in and going into the game and doing what I do. But at the same time, I knew there was a good foundation here. There's a lot of great players. So I'm just kind of try to find my way in whichever way I can. And, if it works out, great. But if not, if me seeing the floor was a little bit unrealistic, then I'm going to try to find my way to impact winning elsewhere. So I think there's been a good mix of both for me this year, and it's been great to, get opportunities out on the court, but there's been a lot of also ways I've been able to impact winning even when I'm not on the floor, getting that playing time.
There wasn't a lot of playing time early on.
Yeah.
What changed? Because we're seeing you, before you had an injury, but we're seeing you in the rotation of getting in games when they matter.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily anything that changed for me necessarily. I think I come in every single day with the same mindset, just work as hard as I can. Try to do all the right things, try to make all the right plays, keep things super simple, and just stay confident and stay ready. So I think, we've had, our ups and downs this year, and I think, we've been trying to figure certain things out as a team. So I knew if Coach were to call my name that I'd be ready to go. And, when he did call my name, I feel like I was confident, ready to go. There was no nerves. I've been in this situation before, so I just got to go out there and execute, do what I do.
Obviously, professional basketball is something you want to do. You were pursuing that until Idaho interrupted that plan. So obviously, that's still part of what you want to do next year then?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think as long as my body will allow me to, I want to keep playing basketball. It's what I love to do. It's always what I've done. It's what me and my whole family does. So it's just, I think I want to just keep pursuing that as long as I can.
You played college basketball and are a really good Division II player. Your brother's playing at UC Davis. Is basketball your family's deal?
Yeah, so I have one older brother, played 4 years at a Division III in Massachusetts, and then took his 5th year at Sonoma State Division II in California. And then, I've played my 4 year. This is my 5th year now. But and then I got my younger brother who's in his junior year at UC Davis. And then I have my youngest brother who's still in high school. He's a junior this year. He's hoping to play college basketball as well.
How did basketball become the family game? Is there a mom? Is there a dad? Or is it just something that you guys fell into?
Mean, my dad always loved the game. Crazy enough, he was a football player in high school. He was better at football, but he just loved the game, especially after all of that and when he grew up. But he would always play in the men's leagues. He would always watch a lot of basketball. He loved the game a lot, and he kind of passed that on to us. And then we grew to love it. And just obviously, when you have 3 brothers, but the 4 of us total, there's a lot of competition to go around. There's a lot of, trying to be better than your brothers type of deal going on. So, yeah, that competitive spirit I feel like drove the love of the game for us throughout our childhood and then even now.
How did one of you guys not wind up a football player?
I played a little bit of football growing up. I played for 3 years in middle school. I played football. My mom hated it. she didn't want me to play football at all. But one of my best friends convinced me, and I was a pretty solid football player. But I knew once I got to high school, it was like you got to kind of focus on one, and I wanted to be really elite at one. And basketball is the one that I love the most, so I had to push baseball, push football to the side, and then, basketball was my main deal coming into high school.
Okay, what did you play in football?
I started off as a receiver and then finished off my last couple years as a running back.
Okay, what did you play in baseball?
Baseball, I pitched a little bit, and then I played center field.
Okay. And basketball was the one, right?
Yeah, so crazy enough, I knew all the coaches at in our high school at all sports. Basketball, I was on the freshman team as a freshman. Baseball, our JV coach, I knew him pretty well, and he wanted me to try out because he's like, if you try out, you'll be on our JV team. And then football, we didn't have a freshman team, so I would have been on JV for football. So all of the sports, if I played all of them, I would have been on JV for every single one except for basketball. And then funny enough, basketball is the one I ended up, taking along and continuing playing, which is pretty funny enough.
That tells me there's an absolute love of that game for you to do that and for you to come here. I mean, you could have said, nah, I'm done. I need to get on with life, but you must have sensed that this is something I need to do.
Definitely. I mean, I think playing at the Division I level is always my dream. Recruitment my senior year, which was the COVID year, was really tough, and that kind of screwed a lot of things up for guys in my class. And I didn't let that discourage me. I was like, the D2 route's still great. The NAI route's still great. The JUCO route, whatever route you decide to take is great. But for me, I always knew I could play at this level. And it was just honestly when the door came knocking and the opportunity came, it was just a dream come true. It just really, when it all happened, it didn't seem real. And now that I'm here still in it, sometimes I'm just stepping out on the court at night, working out by myself, and I'm looking around in the arena. It's crazy that I'm here. So,
obviously the basketball came instantaneous. Okay, I guess I am going here. Well, there's another aspect to that. There's school.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you got to decide, I've already graduated. Now I got to figure out a master's program. Where did that take you?
Yeah, so I had to talk to quite a different amount of like Nick, our academic advisor for athletics, but a couple different just regular academic advisors and stuff, and they told me that the master's program just wouldn't be realistic for me to be able to complete. And I said, okay, that's okay. Like, that's not my main priority necessarily. I coming here for basketball. So they said you can, take these undergraduate classes that basically get like some undergraduate certificates that fall under my major that I already got a degree for. So kind of like add-ons. At first, I thought I was just going to be able to take random electives just for fun, just to be eligible. But they're like, okay, there's some stuff that you actually could complete in your time here. So I was like, you know what, why not just, add on to the resume, add on to my degree a little bit, and, just expand.
You're going to look back on this when you're 70 and go, this is a movie.
100%.
This
100%.
whole story is like almost hard to believe.
Definitely. No, definitely. It was crazy. I mean, I'm, in the other side of the world one day. I'm in a different city. I'm at a different college the other day, and then 2 days later, I'm in Moscow, Idaho. It's crazy.
It's a good thing that the assistant coach came to talk to you, not your brother, saying, "Hey, they're trying to," because you'd have been, "Get out of here! Shut up! You're lying."
Yeah, it was. I mean, there was some word a little bit floating around the day before. I had some coaches from home, some connections who were like, "Oh, just are you how are you? Are you in shape? Are you ready to go?" Because I got some coaches, I got some people asking about you. You got something that might be brewing over here, and I'm like, okay, okay. I've heard this before, but sure. I was like, just let me know. We'll keep it updated. I didn't really believe it too much up until the following day when I'm, got my brother's coaches coming up to me, got Coach Laird calling me, got connected with Coach Pribb and all that stuff, and yeah, it was crazy.
It's a good thing you stayed in shape instead of putting on 20 pounds, drinking beer, and doing all those kind of things.
No, definitely.
Aidan, we appreciate the time. Congratulations. It's a great story. We appreciate you joining us on the podcast. Continued success. Good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
After 2 weeks and 4 straight games on the road, Vandals will be back home this week. The men will host Weber State Thursday night at 6 and Idaho State Saturday afternoon at ICCU at 2. Today's Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast is presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. As the Vandals team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Matt Taylor cares for elite athletes, weekend warriors, and everyone in between. Let the team that takes care of the Vandals take care of you.
Welcome back to the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. Pleasure to welcome this young man to our podcast this week, and very timely to have him on. Young man from Italy playing on the men's tennis team here at the University of Idaho, Gabriel Moroder. Thanks for being here. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. And I say it's very important. It's kind of timely to have you here because the Winter Olympics are going on, and people are going, well, Dennis, the Winter Olympics don't have tennis in it. But you weren't always a tennis player, right?
True. I was actually a ski jumper as well.
A ski jumper?
I was a ski jumper.
Okay. So, I know football players are track guys. I know lacrosse players are football guys. There's some sports that have a natural combination. Tennis and ski jumping to me seem to have nothing in common.
That's true. It's completely something else.
How in the world did you end up in both?
So basically, my dad was a ski jumping coach, and he actually still is. And so my brother got into ski jumping, and I was like, I want to do this too. And that's how I got into ski jumping. And then the way I got into tennis was I was 3 years old. I was at the beach with my family in the southern of Italy. And then apparently, that's how they tell me. There was a tennis court right in front of a hotel. And then I would run up on the tennis court every morning by myself, just swinging the racket. And then, that's how I got into tennis. And then I got back from holiday, and my dad signed me up for a tennis course.
So, do you even remember that experience?
Oh, no, I don't.
No. So tennis has been around for you for longer than you can remember.
Always, yeah.
Okay. I want to ask, well, obviously now that's an easy, your dad's a ski jumper, your brother was there. Hey, let's take little brother along, and here we go and jump off the hill. How long did you do, obviously you're still doing tennis, but how long did you do ski jumping? At what point did you say, I can't do this anymore?
I probably started when I was like 5 or 6, I guess. And then I stopped at 13 when I broke my collarbone at ski jumping.
Did you jump? Did you break it jumping off a hill and landed wrong?
I landed wrong and I just shattered my collarbone completely.
As you're laying on the ground before the people come get you, are you saying in yourself, "That's my last ski jump. I'm out"?
Not really. I remember actually in that moment, my knee hurt more than my collarbone.
Okay, so this was a real crash. This wasn't just. This was a. Oh my! Right?
Yeah. And then I remember 10 minutes later, I was like, "What's wrong with my shoulder?" And then as I'm taking off the ski jumping suit, which is obviously really tight, I was like, "There's no way I'm getting off this jumping suit, right?"
So obviously at 13, you were competing. It wasn't just you're learning how to do that. Yeah,
that was fun.
Okay, so I got one more question about ski jumping, then we'll talk more tennis because that's your sport now. But actually, I got a couple questions. Was that an easy decision? Was that a hard decision to step back, and your dad's a coach, and now you got to go tell him I don't want to do your sport anymore, Dad?
I would say it was fairly easy. I mean, the good thing is that my parents they gave me choice. I could basically do whatever I wanted. And so, yeah, as I break my collarbone, I obviously had to take a break from both. And I remember in that time, I had a very hard schedule. I had to manage school, tennis, and ski jumping all at the same time. And then obviously at one point I knew I had to take a decision. And then I think that me breaking my collarbone was like a good time to put an end to ski jumping.
What's it like to hurdle yourself down that hill? Because this is timely because, ski jumping was on last night, and it'll be on for another week or so as people hear this podcast. What's it like to fly?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the adrenaline just pumps in your blood. It feels so good. It's like hitting an ace on a deuce points. That's the comparison that I like to make with tennis. It just feels amazing.
When you did it the first time, you jumped off the hill. Now you're in the air. Are you saying this is really cool, or are you saying in your mind, "Holy beep! I can't believe I'm doing this"?
Oh, that was amazing. I still actually do remember the first time. I jumped and then I did crash the first time, but it was more like a crash out of fear than just But it was amazing. I knew this was going to be something fun one day.
Does tennis give you the same rush that ski jumping gave you?
That's a really good question. I would say it's a completely different kind of rush. It's as I say, I don't know. It's like I would compare hitting an ace with ski jumping.
Yeah, because you look at a tennis.
Feels good.
You look at a tennis match. Yeah, it's 2-3 hours. You can play that long. Yeah. Ski jumping is over.
It's like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Do you miss ski jumping when you watch the Olympics?
I don't. But one thing I do is I dream about it sometimes. Like I can see myself in the dream, just like starting off the hill and then jumping, and then I land. Everything is fine, and then I wake up and I'm like, damn, that would be cool sometimes.
Yeah. You're from Italy.
Yep.
You grew up in the northern part of Italy.
True.
Where the Olympics are being held. Cortino is a legendary spot with a legendary downhill course and a legendary ski jumping hill. What was it like to grow up in northern Italy? And how different, people always ask this question, how different is northern Italy than southern Italy
it's completely different.
Other than one place gets snow and the other doesn't?
Yeah. Well, one thing that everyone tells about my hometown is that people learn how to ski before they learn how to walk. So like everyone knows how to ski or snowboard or whatever your parents decide to put you into.
Right.
But yeah, again, if you don't know how to ski, you're either a foreign person or there's something wrong with you. to be honest.
Or you broke? Do you ever go skiing anymore?
Oh, I wish. I'm not. I don't when I'm here.
Right.
But when I'm back home, I obviously do.
Yeah.
Almost
Okay.
every weekend until. Yeah. I mean, I spent the last 2 winters here in Idaho, but before that, I used to ski like twice or 3 times a week, every weekend.
What's the thrill you get from playing tennis?
I just love hitting the tennis ball. It's just, it feels good. When you hit the shot that you like, it just feels amazing, you know?
When did you realize, holy cow, I might be pretty good at this?
I still struggle to believe that sometimes, to be honest.
Wait a second. You're here as a college tennis player. I mean, you got to be doing something right.
Yeah, I agree. I think the moment where it actually clicked for me was when I moved out from home when I was 15. I moved to an academy, which is like 3 hours from my hometown. And in that moment, I was like, damn, like, this is getting serious. This is no joke anymore, you know.
Are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest, yeah.
Okay.
I got an older brother, and he's 24 now.
Okay. So when you moved away at 15, was your brother gone too?
He actually just came back from his experience in Austria. He went to Austrian high school because he, as I said, he was a ski jumper too.
Yeah.
And then he finished his senior year in high school. He came back to Italy, and I was gone.
So he kind of saved you then, because mom,
True.
baby's gone, and now, but there's somebody else still here. So how was that? You know, obviously in the United States, a lot of kids go away to college, and that's a difficulty for parents, especially moms. At 18, you were 15. How did that happen? I mean, how was that situation?
I mean, I was fairly lucky. As I said, the academy wasn't too far away. It was like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And so every second or third weekend, I would drive home just for a couple of days, see my family, go skiing again, see my friends. So I would say I wasn't too far away to still maintain like the connection, if you know what I'm saying.
So now you're not 2.5, 3 hours away.
I wish.
You're a day away. I mean, on an airplane.
Yeah.
How did that go when you told your mom and dad I'm going to the United States to play tennis and go to college?
I would say they had very different reactions. My dad was like, "Hell yeah, go for it! Like, this is
get out. I got plans
is your
for
chance.
your room.
You gotta take it, right?"
Yeah.
And my mom was a little bit more disappointed, I would say, but obviously, I mean, she understood it at one point, and she also supported me to take that decision. And you know, still today, I call her almost every day, so I'm still able to maintain a very good relationship to both my parents.
So Gabriel, how in the world did you wind up at Idaho?
I really liked the first phone call with Coach Raleigh. He was one thing that stood out to me was that he was actually very progress oriented, whereas most college coaches that I talked to, they were like, okay, you're gonna play this position on my team, and like the thing they cared about the most was just outcome, just results. Whereas, as I said, Raleigh just wants us to improve on and off the court, and his main goal is to send us on the ATP tour after college. So he doesn't really care about our college career. Obviously, he wants us to do well,
right.
You know, but his main goal is to send us on the ATP tour after college.
So I'm getting from what you described, you're the whole person here. You're a tennis player, but you're a student, and there's also other things that make you the well-rounded person, and that's your college experience. It's not just how many wins and how many losses you have.
True, absolutely. I try to keep telling myself I'm here for tennis and not school, even though it's not always easy. But one thing I keep telling myself is, if I wanted to do school, I would have stayed in Italy. I wouldn't have come here just to do school, you know.
So what are you studying? What do you want to do?
I'm a psychology major. Ideally, if tennis doesn't work out, I would like to be a mental coach in sports. That's like my plan B, but plan A is obviously to go pro in tennis after college.
Well, I think you could do that because you hurdled yourself off a mountain and jumped into the air.
I truly believe I can, yeah.
How different is tennis here than in Europe? Because if you look, you drive by anywhere in the U.S. and you drive by a tennis court, it's always hard court.
True.
Where Europe, you can see a grass court, you can see a whole bunch of clay courts. How different is the sport of tennis and the feel for it here than where you're from?
I have never played on grass court, actually. My favorite court is definitely clay court. Even though I grew up on carpet, which is a very weird surface to play on. But I wouldn't say it's too different. I would say the general level of players is probably higher in Europe than it is here. But the thing that I think changes the most are the expenses. Like the academy I was playing for from 15 to 18, I quit that just because it wasn't financially sustainable. It was just too expensive. And I keep telling myself, if you try to go pro by not going to college, you either have to be super, super good from a young age, or you have to be loaded. And that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, but you're getting a tennis experience, but you're also getting a different experience.
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't change anything about just the part of being here, you know. I love being here. I love making new friends. I love making life experience that are gonna help me not only on the court but especially off the court, I would say. My English wasn't great before coming here. So like the first couple of weeks were kind of rough, but
your English is way better than my Italian, so that's why we're doing this interview in English. But you grew up in northern Italy, which has a German influence to it. So can you speak Italian? Can you speak German? What do you speak?
My mother language is actually Latin. It's not Latin, it's Latin with D, so Ladin.
Wow.
And it's a language that only we speak in the mountains, in the Dolomites, in a little town. And I think there's another there's another little town in Switzerland that speaks a similar version to that. And overall it's like between 100,000 and 500,000 people that speak this language
as their first language.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a very old language. It's a language that the old Romans used to speak, and it's still maintained somehow. I don't know why.
So not Latin.
Latin, right?
Italian, Czech.
Yeah.
German.
I would put German before Italian, but yeah.
Okay, so now you're speaking 3 languages before you even get here.
True.
And now you're speaking English.
Yeah, and I'm taking Spanish 101 right now.
Oh, you're just doing that for fun, right?
Nah.
But Italian and Spanish, there's some similarities there, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I can tell it's fairly similar. I'm doing fairly well in this class, so yeah.
I didn't ask you this, but we should. How's your season going?
So far, I gotta admit, it's not great so far results-wise. I feel like I'm playing really good tennis. It's just small things I need to adjust to get the W's, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time until that happens. I mean, the season just started. It's still a long way to go.
So you play both singles and doubles. Do you like singles or doubles better? So there's more glory in singles, right?
There is more glory,
because if you look around, there's nobody else there.
But doubles is just more fun.
Is it?
It's more hype, more energy, you know. I'm playing doubles with Chenny. It's just so awesome to be on his side, screaming, you know, being loud, making some noise. It's really fun.
Gabriel, we appreciate the time. Thanks for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck in the tennis world. Enjoy the ski jumping while it's on. I know that's close to your heart with your family and you, so we appreciate the time. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
All right, appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
This Idaho Vandal Insider podcast is presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. When not caring for the Vandals as team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Matt Taylor provides the same MVP orthopedic care to our entire region. At Inland Orthopedics, our team is your team.
Welcome back to the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. We are now joined by a new school record holder here at the University of Idaho from the women's track team, Jana Williams. Thanks for being here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. When somebody says new school record holder, and we'll talk about your event in a minute, but just what does that connotation mean when somebody describes you like that?
I mean, exciting. I don't know. Like, I've always wanted to be a record holder here for an individual event, but I didn't know if it was going to happen. So it was definitely very exciting to have that happen this year.
Do you have a high school record?
Like at my high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the 100 record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not something new. So it's not like, no, I never was a high record holder in high school, and all of a sudden I come to college and I'm now a school record holder. Did you know as you're running, like, this is really good? I might be getting a record? Because you run the 60, so, I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time to think while you're doing it. Was the feeling like, what?
I honestly didn't know. I have been close, like, for a while now since I started, because I've been, like, 0.02 off of the record, or 0.03 off of the record. So I was just hoping. I was like, I really want to get it. But I didn't know, because, like, it's always hard to tell in the race.
Right.
So when I finished and looked at the time, I was still a little bit surprised. I was excited. I was happy.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I'm glad, because the other reaction would be, damn it, I finally did it. I got to this point. Was there any of that? It's like, yes, I finally did it.
Yeah, it was that. Like, I feel like I've just been so close that I've been wanting to get there so badly. But, I mean, it's always just a good feeling, finally, breaking through and stuff, you know?
So you're a sprinter here, and 60 indoors is the 100-meter outdoors.
Basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't take very long.
No, it's super short.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell where you're at, so.
So how did you fall? First of all, how did you fall into running? And second of all, how did you figure out once you were into running that sprinting was your deal?
Well, I started at a really young age. I started at like 6 years old. My parents put all of my siblings into track. So my mom was always like, I thought you were fast, so I just thought we'll put you into track. We'll see how you guys do. I've never been able to run very far. So I tried cross country, but I'm really bad at that. So I just knew right away that like short sprints is where I was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did your parents put all of you guys in because you guys were being rambunctious and
Probably.
running around the neighborhood? It's like,
yeah, she's like, we need to get you guys in a sport.
Yeah, we need to do something to make these kids tired so they go to bed at night. Then
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play other sports growing up?
I did. I did soccer. Actually, soccer was my first sport. I think I started at like 5. And then I did a little bit of basketball. I wasn't very good at that, though. I did, volleyball for like 1 year. And I did a little bit of dance, too. But track was my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did dance make you a better sprinter?
No.
What?
I barely did dance,
Yeah.
but it was fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When did you realize, hey, I might be kind of good at this?
It's hard to say, honestly. Like, I've always had a lot of fun with track. I always thought that I could be like good at it, I guess. I think maybe once I hit middle school, high school is when I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to go to track, or I want to go to college for track and be a sprinter.
I mean, at some point in time, if you're a sprinter who set a school record, you got to have, I would think, would have won most of the high school events you were in, right?
Yeah, my junior year was kind of like I wasn't as consistent, but my senior year was a lot more like getting the conference wins and stuff like that. So that felt, for the 100, so that felt a little bit.
So, I mean, in your head, you've got to start thinking, I'm beating these girls and I'm winning all these races. Yeah, maybe I can do this in college. Was there a thought? It's like, I don't know if I can do this in college, and then all of a sudden the light switch went on. And you said, yes, I can.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I tried to reach out to a ton of coaches before my senior year of high school, and I wasn't getting much back, honestly. So it was really discouraging. I was like, maybe I won't run in college, and maybe this won't happen for me. I was kind of just leaving it up to God. I was like, hopefully, maybe I can, get there. I just prayed a ton and hoping that I would find the right team that fit for me. But yeah, so once I ran one indoor race in the 60 meter. I think it was in like December or January, and I ran a pretty good time. And so I had my old Idaho coach reach out to me, and he was like, reached out to me again because I'd previously talked to him in August, and then he kind of ghosted me, and then he talked to me again after I ran a good time. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can go to college now because I have someone talking back with me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously looking for a place to run, is primary, but you're not that far from home. You're from Snohomish on the west side of the state of Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So did that make the decision to come to Idaho easier, closer to home, or was it just I just want to go someplace where I can do my sport?
It was definitely an easier decision. I'd actually had my best friend commit here. She's on the soccer team, and so that was also another person, like I have someone close. Both of my siblings ran at WSU, so I was like, oh, I'm close to them. So it was kind of just like, yeah, and then once I came here, I was like, this is where I want to go. Like, the team is such a close team. All the girls were super welcoming. So I just, like, knew this is where I wanted to go as soon as I came on my visit here. Because I went on a visit here and I went on a visit at WSU, and it was just like a night and day difference for me.
Well, it's funny because we talked to Gabriel Moroder from the men's tennis team earlier in this podcast, and he's from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, so it's like he has no clue where this is. Now, the fact that you didn't grow up that far away, 300 miles away, and your two older brothers and sisters, or brother and sister, went to Washington State. You probably had some working knowledge of Moscow and the area.
Yeah, for sure. I had been here a couple times before. I didn't really know anything about the school, but I was like, once I came here, I just knew this is where I want to go.
So is everybody in your family fast?
Yeah, honestly, they are. My mom was a swimmer, and my dad was a sprinter, but they both did a ton of like triathlons and stuff and like biking and all this stuff. They never like went anywhere for college or track or anything, but all of my siblings are fast. Like, I have two brothers and a sister, and it's crazy that both of my oldest two siblings ended up at WSU. But
Okay.
yeah, but my other brother's fast too. He just wasn't as interested as we were.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about, you said you don't like to run far.
No.
Okay, so 60, obviously, school record holder. That's good. 100 meters, you good with that?
I like
race?
the 100, yep.
Okay, what about the 200?
It's iffy. It's been a lot better for me mentally than when I used to run it. When I was younger, I used to hate it. I was like, this race is too long, but I've grown to like it more. There's a lot of room for improvement with it. So
400?
no.
Okay, so you're semi drawing the line at 200. Maybe
Yeah.
that's even too far.
Yeah.
So when you said you don't like to run a long way, you really don't like to run a long way.
I've only ran like one open 400 in my entire life, I think. The only other times have been on 4x4s.
And at 200 meters, you said, I'm out. I'm not
The
doing
lactic's hitting. I'm tired. Yeah.
So you talked about cross country. Did you? I mean, obviously, as a high school athlete, there's there's no indoor season. There's cross country. Did you run cross country in high school?
It was middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, I ran it in 7th grade, I think. I think it was 7th grade. Yeah.
Cross country coach in high school tried to get you to turn out for that sport.
I think. Well, my mom helped coach, so she was like, "Let's do it." I was
wow.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. My parents were actually my senior year of high school. They were my track coaches.
How was that?
It was really fun. It
Was
was really
it?
good. Yeah, my dad's really knowledgeable about like track and
Okay.
yeah.
You're not just saying that because they're going to listen to this podcast.
No,
that it was really good.
I genuinely really loved it. Like, it was really fun having them at every meet and like always being involved, and like it was a really good time. Yeah.
When you picked Idaho, obviously now you have to figure out what you want to study. So what are you studying?
I'm doing exercise science, but physical education, so PE, like teacher and route.
So let me ask. So are you going to be a high school? Sounds like you could teach PE or science, or excuse me, health.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah. I also want to coach track as well.
Well, that
in the
goes
high school
hand
level,
in
yeah.
hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from? Who's? Is there a teacher in your family?
No. My mom helps like substitute teach at my high school, but I thought it sounded like a fun job for me. I think PE teacher is fun and active, and you just get to do fun games every day. That sounds like my type of job.
So a lot of track coaches or cross-country coaches. Are you going to be able to coach cross-country if you get a high school job?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if I could.
Because it'd be hard to make kids run knowing how bad and how much you hate it, right?
I'd be like, so you have to run 6 miles, but I will not be participating in that.
So I got a golf cart.
Yeah.
Follow you along
Yeah,
the
exactly.
thing.
Yelling at them along the way.
Exactly. When you run as fast as you run, what is that like? Because you run faster than probably, I'm going to say 99.9% of the people who are going to listen to this podcast. What is it like to run that fast?
I don't even know how to explain it. Like, sometimes it doesn't feel fast in the moment. Like, sometimes you run PRs and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize I was running that fast. Like, I didn't feel like it. But, I mean, once you, like, cross the line and you're like, oh, that was a good run, like, that's a good feeling. And, like, you know, winning is always a good feeling, no matter what it is. So it's just, like, it feels good, and you feel at peace after, and you feel so happy. And sometimes I don't even know how to express the emotions that I'm feeling. You know what I mean?
I've asked that to sprinters, and a lot of them, like you said, it's kind of hard to describe just exactly what that feels like, because we see people run fast and we go, you know, you watch the Olympics or you watch a track meet and it's like, wow, what would it be like to do that? And, you know, dunk a basketball, you know, all kinds of things that people don't normally do. And it's really funny because most of you, it's hard for you to describe, I guess, because probably you've been fast your whole life, so it feels normal, right?
Well, yeah, and like 2 in the 60, like you don't really know where you're at in the race, I feel like, even if you are ahead or whatever, like it's sometimes hard to tell how fast you're really going. Yeah. So it's like, I guess it's just hard to describe.
You like indoor better or outdoor better?
That's a hard question because I do really love the 60, but I love the 100 too. And like the only nice thing I really like about indoor is there's no wind. So there's never any wind, like no headwind, no tailwind. It's just straight up flat. That's your time, which I appreciate because sometimes the wind can be annoying.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, especially in this conference.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of the places you could wind up going outdoor-wise, and they're all windy places or can be windy places. So where did you first run indoor?
I ran... Like, in high school, I ran one indoor race at University of Washington.
Okay. So you actually had, before you came here, an indoor.
Okay. Only one indoor race, and I really liked it. It was fun. Like, the 60 is a really fun race. It's super short, so you don't feel like you really did anything. But the only thing that can be annoying is the 200 indoor, because sometimes, like, every curve is different, every track is different, so it's like, the 60 is very consistent. Like, you're just running in a straight line. The 200, it can differ. So
I've described it to people as running track outside it doesn't matter where you are. It's pretty much the same track. Running indoor track, especially if you go longer than the 60, 200, 400, it's like a NASCAR race. All the tracks are different, so you kind of have to figure that out. So when you run a 200 indoor, do you like the banked or do you like the flat?
I like the flat.
Okay.
I really like our track for the 200. I think that maybe I just struggle with the bank a little bit because usually when I'm running the 200, I'm already tired. I'm like, oh, I have to run up a hill. But yeah, I do love our track a lot.
Are you the laziest track athlete ever?
I might be.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, it's true. I honestly, like, I get tired quick. Like, the 60s kind of tire me out.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
We appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing your story. Continued success, school record holder, and we appreciate you coming on our podcast.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for this week's Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast. Thanks to all of our guests for joining us and for sharing their stories. Don't forget to join us every week for the Idaho Vandal Coaches Show, live from 42 Bar Kitchen in Moscow, 6 Pacific, 7 o'clock Mountain Time on the Idaho Vandals Radio Network. I'm Dennis Patchin saying thanks for listening. We'll see you next week for another edition of the Idaho Vandal Insider Podcast.
This has been the Vandal Insider Podcast, presented by Inland Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Clinic of Moscow and Pullman. Let the team that takes care of the Vandals take care of you. Get the latest information on University of Idaho athletics you won't find anywhere else with the Vandal Insider Podcast. From in-depth conversations to game previews, the Vandal Insider is every fan's source for all things Idaho athletics.